quality number 6, courage. What a wonderful quality courage is for a leader. In fact, I heard a statement one time that I loved. It said, one person with courage is a majority. And I thought how true that is. In your notes, Winston Churchill said, courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees all others. Larry Osborne, who was a wonderful friend of mine, one day we were talking, and here's what he said. The most striking thing about highly effective leaders is how little they have in common. That's a very true statement. You start pulling out highly effective leaders and try to box them, and you'll find that they are very different. But then here he goes on, and he says this. One swears by one, another warns against it. But one trait stands out, the willingness to take risk. This is where courage comes in. In other words, courage starts on the inside, but it displays itself outwardly. It's an inside job, but a person that has it, you'll know it very quickly because courage is an outward expression. So, there's a lot I could say about courage, but let me give you the 3 expressions of courage that I think are perhaps most important. Number 1, the courage to say no. Opportunity does not equal obligation. Just because you and I have an opportunity to do something doesn't mean we should do it. In his book, in your notes now, in his book, Good to Great, Jim Collins encourages business leaders to develop a stop doing list. Most of us lead busy but undisciplined lives, and we are ever expanding the to-do list, trying to build momentum by doing, and doing more. And it rarely works, and those who built the Good to Great companies, however, made as much use of the stop doing list as the to-do list. They displayed a remarkable discipline to unplug all sorts of extraneous junk. They displayed remarkable courage to channel their resources into only one or a few areas. Now, let me call the time out here for a second before we go on in the notes, because when I'm talking about the courage to say no, I'm talking about something that I'm not really good at. Okay? I mean, my name's John. I'm your friend. It doesn't do me good to teach these things without sharing with you that I don't have them all wired. When I talk about the 21 qualities of a leader, I don't want you to think that I'm a 10 on everything. I'm not a 10 on many things. And one of the areas that is a real weakness is this area of saying no. I love to add value to people, and I love opportunity, and I'm high energy. This is a bad combination. In fact, somebody asked me the other day, they said, John, how can you just go, and do all this stuff? I said, it's very simple. High energy, low IQ. And you have to have both. You have to have both. If you have like low energy and high IQ, well, you know you aren't going to do it. You know what I mean? Or if you have low energy and you got to have the rare combination of high energy, low IQ. Well, as we go through the 21 qualities of a leader, you're going to do well on some, you're not going to do well on some. By the way, the ones you do well on, you're going to look at me and you're going to say, now that truly is a quality of a leader. And the ones you don't do well on, you're going to kind of say, well, I don't know if that's really a quality of a leader. Okay, now that we're done with all that foolishness, let me tell you how to help yourself when you're weak. You see, because I know that I have a problem of saying no, I have around me what I call the hatchet committee. And when invitations come for me to do all those things, the hatchet committee just looks at them. In fact, I don't even look at them anymore. Somebody told me the other day that I receive 50 invitations a week to speak. Well, I just can't quite handle that one. And so what they do is they just cut it up. They just hack away and cut them up and say can't be there, can't do that, and that's why I call them the hatchet committee. Now, what am I saying? When you have a difficulty with an issue, bring people around you that will complement you or complete you in that area. Go back to your notes. It's been my experience that great leaders, in spite of a multitude of distractions, know how to keep things focused. They know how to inspire and to motivate their followers to keep pushing the main chance. They don't let side issues overwhelm them. So the courage to say no is a wonderful expression of courage. Number 2, the courage to face reality. Max Dupree says the first responsibility of a leader is to define reality. Peter Senge said, an accurate, insightful view of current reality is as important as a clear vision. Unfortunately, most of us are in the habit of imposing biases on our perceptions of current reality. I love Winston Churchill. He's such a great leader. But it was so interesting during World War II. Winston Churchill would not rely upon his generals and leaders in the fight against Nazism to give him his total perspective of war. He literally had a separate group of people that had nothing to do with the armed forces that literally gave him numbers and statistics and gave him a progress report of which every day he sat down and talked to them. Now, what was he saying? He was basically saying, I can't talk to people who are in the middle of something. I got to talk to people who are dealing with reality. And I put in there the 7 commandments of current reality. Thou shalt not pretend, not turn a blind eye. Thou shalt not exaggerate. Thou shalt not shoot the bearer of bad news. Thou shalt not manipulate the numbers, nor ignore constructive criticism. Thou shalt not isolate thyself. The third expression of courage, not only the courage to say no, the courage to face reality, the third expression of courage is the courage to dream. The courage to dream. Because I have discovered that every great accomplishment began as a dream. As one author put it, all things are created twice. There's a mental or first creation and a physical or second creation to all things. As a next generation leader, the third expression of courage you must make is to dream about what could be and what should be. You must allow your mind to wander outside the boundaries of what is and begin to create a mental picture of what could be. Well said, my friend. Dream no small dreams, for they stir not the hearts of men. Let me put it this way in closing out this quality. The size of your dream will determine the size of the person you attract. If you have a big dream, you'll attract big people. If you have some kind of a small, this is just kind of thought, my goodness, I don't know if it's really going to work, you're going to attract small, I don't know if I could ever do it anyway kind of people. The size of your dream will determine the size of your team. The size of your dream will determine the size of person that you attract. That's why never be afraid to put commitment in your vision. Because if you put commitment in your vision, the uncommitted will never come. And the committed are the ones that you build the dream off of.